Okay, these are public hearings for code enforcement violations. There is no one in the audience, so I will dispense with the detailed information. The city, actually, let me go ahead and swear in the witnesses. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Good afternoon.
Good
ma'am.
afternoon.
As you know, we tabled 2206 from last meeting, and they did have a representative that appeared, and as luck would have it, all the permits were drawn, and the work has also been completed, and therefore we would like to withdraw.
Excellent. I had a feeling that she was going to make sure things got done.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you, so we never had any ruling on that,
No,
so
ma'am.
we'll just withdraw that one from the agenda.
Yes, ma'am. And the next case is 2146 at 1412 Am Terrace. If you recall, we heard this case back several months ago, and you were kind enough to afford them till February or till March to complete. They actually have completed, and you reserved cost in that case, and it is in compliance as of.
What does the city wish to do on the costs? Pursue the costs or waive the costs?
Actually, if I remember right,
Were the costs imposed or reserved?
no, they were reserved.
Okay.
We can leave it at that.
Okay. Then, you want an order from me? Finding of compliance?
Yes, for the record.
$207?
Also in compliance, and there is a matter of cost in that case of $157.20.
Those costs were imposed.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll go ahead and enter an order finding that the property is in compliance and imposing costs in the $157.22. Moving on, 2208.
That case is also in compliance, and with that one, you did impose costs of $186.50, and we would like to withdraw those costs, please.
So on 2208, I'll order finding compliance and no costs,
Yes, ma'am.
not imposing any. Making my job very easy. 22-10.
Yes, ma'am. I'm happy to report that that is in compliance as well. And the city did impose the cost in the amount of $104.39.
I will enter an order finding in compliance and imposing the costs of 104. That looks like it's it for the Massey hearings.
Yes, ma'am. Which takes us to new hearings. And ready?
22-11.
Is in compliance and withdrawn.
All right, so I will not enter any order on that. -14.
Yes, ma'am. We will hear that case today at 419 Wagner Avenue, Titusville, 32796. And Jim Flanagan's the officer in this case, and he has a presentation prepared.
Good afternoon.
Good.
This will be case 2214 for 419 Wagner Avenue. I have 3 exhibits to submit. It's the notice of violation affidavit, the notice of hearing affidavit, and the cost recovery.
One is the notice of violation and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 will be notice of hearing and affidavit of service. Exhibit 3 is the cost recovery statement in the amount of $139.61. So it's
Okay. I advised it's Eric Hampton and Kathleen Jefferson, 419 Wagner Avenue, Titusville, Florida. The mail to address is 975 Nova Terrace property appraiser site. There was 4 violations that I started with on this property. The first one, 1326, conditions constituting menace to public health, that was complied and taken care of for overgrowth. The second one is 1373, inoperative vehicles. Number 3 is 302.7, the accessory structures for a fence, and 304.7, roof and drainage. This initial inspection was done on December 1st, 2021. Violation was posted on the property. On December 2nd, 2021, mailed certified first class. Certified mail was signed for on 7th of December, 2021. Notice of hearing was mailed on February 28th, 2022, posted at City Hall and the property, and certified in first class was mailed on February 10th, 2022. Date given to originally comply was January 6th, 2022. There has been no contact made by the owner or anyone with interest of the property. I have first observed this violation that had observed this property that had several violations on the property, including unregistered unoperative vehicles, fence falling and missing sections, and roof needing repairs. Several re-inspections were completed, and several failing attempts to contact anyone interested in the property had gone without any additional contact. This would be for section 1373, the inoperative vehicles. There was 2 vehicles in the backyard, one on blocks and one with grass growing around it, as you can see on the picture on the left. The picture on the right is the vehicle that's still in the front yard, sitting there untagged and unregistered.
which one is the one on the picture on the right?
The picture on the right is sitting in the front yard.
Is in the
Yeah, and the vehicle's still there. The one on the picture on the left, the silver vehicle that's in the backyard, I can no longer see. I don't know if they removed it, but the second vehicle is still in the backyard.
So there were a total of 3 inoperable
There were
vehicles?
3. As of today, there's only 2 vehicles.
Okay.
Again, an accessory structure for the fence, 302.7. This is a picture of the chain link fence out front. And on the first picture here, you can see that the fence in the front there is also fallen down. They have taken care of that part and removed that part of the fence.
Right, so the only issue left on the fence violation is
The chain link that you
link.
see there, yes. Then 304.7 for roof and drainage. The roof and flashing shall be sound tight and not have any defects. And you can see there's like sandbags and tarps and different things up on the roof, and a dilapidated condition of the roof on that side. Conclusion of the facts, 1373 for the inoperative vehicles. The vehicles had not been removed or registered with any valid license plates. Accessory structures, the fence has not been repaired other than that, taken down that one section. The chain link still needs to be corrected. And the roof and drainage, the roof has not been repaired with proper roofing materials. There has been no permit applied for or issued for the structure to make any repairs. And the recommendation is recommended that they correct the violation on or before April 8th, 2022. In order to correct the violations, the vehicles need to be removed from the property, stored indoors, or covered with an approved car cover, or registered and insured and operable. The fence needs to be removed or repaired, and permits need to be required if needed. And the roof needs to be properly repaired. Non-roof items need to be removed and repaired with permits as required. Is ordered that the respondent be assessed the administrative cost of $139.61. If the respondent does not comply by April 8th, 2022, a fine of $50 per day per violation is recommended. And they need to contact me to let me know that they've been taken care of.
Roof, any repairs to the roof would require a permit.
Yes.
On case number 20-14, I'm going to find that owners were given proper notice of the violations and of today's hearing. They did not appear today, or no representatives have appeared today. There is an evidence of violation. Section 13-73, inoperative vehicles, with evidence that there were two vehicles that are clearly inoperable and they are not registered. Section 6-109, subsection 3.7 for accessory structures, the fence. The evidence shows that the chain link fence is in disrepair and on the ground and not properly functioning as a fence. While they did repair some of the other fencing, the chain link is clearly in violation. Last violation, section 6-109, subsection 304.7 for roofs and flashing. Evidence shows that the roof is in a dilapidated condition and needs to be repaired and proper permits applied for. I will go ahead and enter an order finding the three violations and compliance date of April 8th, 2022, and failure to comply by April 8th, 2022 will result in a daily fine in the $50 per violation. And owners are instructed to contact Officer Flanagan to notify him of any corrections to the violations. And costs will be imposed. $139.61. My order will also note that they did come into compliance with 13-6. Next case.
And the next case is 1155 South Street, Titusville, Florida, 32780. And again, Officer Jim Flanagan.
I have 3 items to submit in this case. It's the affidavit notice of violation, the affidavit Davis notice of hearing, and the cost recovery sheet.
The violation and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 will be the notice of hearing for today's hearing and the affidavit of service. And cost recovery statement, requesting costs in the amount of $110.05.
I'm sorry, I had to check on something real quick. This is case 2215, the address 1155 South Street. The respondents listed on the property appraiser site is Mary Snelling, Ted Smith, Rhonda Wilson, Thomas Wilson, Edna Wise, and Guinevere Smith. The mailing address is listed as 2715 Venus Drive, Titusville, Florida. There are several violations here under IPMC 304.13 for window skylights and door frames, 304.5 foundation walls, 304.6 exterior walls, 304.7 roof and drainage, and 301.3 for vacant structure and land. This initially came to my attention on June 2nd, 2021, when I noticed the violation and posted on site with a notice of violation. On June 2nd, a certified mail was originally sent to Mary Snelling. On January 6th, 2022, mailing was sent to all the listed owners of the property according to the property appraiser's site. On February 28th, 2022, it was posted at City Hall and the property where the violation exists and hand-delivered to 2715 Venus Drive. It was given to an adult named Kim who was visiting at that address. No one from the respondents were at that house at the time. The date given to comply originally was January 20th, 2022. In June, in contact with the owner in June after the mailing, I received a call from an individual stating she was a grandchild of Mary Snelling, who was the owner of the property. She stated that Mary had passed away and the property was turned over to the siblings, the grand siblings, I guess, on this case. They advised they were trying to decide what they were going to do with the property, so I gave them a little bit extra time to decide at that point. All contact had been cut off. I haven't heard from anybody on this property. Made several attempts, several mailings to that address on Venus Drive, and had nothing, no contact at all.
Are the grandchildren living in the house?
No. You'll see in a minute, there's nobody living in the property.
Oh, okay.
First observed the property was vacant and appears to have been needing structural repairs. Observed several violations, posted the notice of violations, and mailed the violation to the owner. Several re-inspections were completed. Several mailing attempts to anyone with interest in the property has gone without any additional contact since. This would be the window skylights and door frame. The windows are busted out. There's a board on the front window that's actually gone now, so it's open to the structure. Definitely not weather tight and good repair like required. This would be for the foundation walls. You can see in the middle of the picture the foundation is falling in on itself. And
How does that happen? Just
it's a wood frame structure. It's all built in wood. I think it was
just
built in like the
it's old and
50s.
dilapidated?
Yeah, it's sitting on, I guess, bricks that it's sitting on is just going into the ground. It's just sinking into the ground, basically. Exterior walls, the same thing. They're loose, falling apart. Pieces are missing off the walls that you can see inside the house. It's not painted or anything to keep it from deteriorating. Roofs and drainage, you can see the roof isn't sound tight. It's got holes in it. It's also a close-up picture where you can see that it's falling in on the inside. Has definite defects and will admit rain. And vacant structure and land. Vacant structure of the premises, therefore vacant land, shall be maintained in a clean, safe, secure, and sanitary condition. The property is open. Anybody can walk right into the house. It's pretty much a hazard because a lot of the flooring in the house, I've been told, has been ripped out. So it's causing a hazard inside and a life and a public health issue. All right, conclusion of the facts. The windows and skylights, windows are missing and broken. Foundation walls, the foundation walls are still not properly supporting and falling in. Exterior walls have become unattached from the frame and missing sections. The roof and drainage, the roof is falling in on itself basically. And this vacant structure and land, structure is causing a blight problem with conditions of deterioration. It is ordered that the respondent to correct the violation on or before April 8th, 2022. To comply, in order to correct the violations, the respondents must either submit and obtain all permits required for repairs, or submit for a demolition permit to remove the property or remove the structure. Order that the respondent be assessed the administrative cost of $210.05. If the respondent does not comply before April 8th, 2022, a fine of $50 per day per violation is being requested to be imposed. And they need to contact me. Let me know about their status and the violation.
And on the agenda, it lists another violation of IPM 108. Vacant structures, is that?
That's gonna be.
It is open. You can see in the pictures and stuff. I
Is-
apologize
is
for
it-
not
Is
listing.
it on the notice?
It'll be on the notice.
For code official post a placard packet.
No, ma'am, it's not been factored.
And then not finding out.
That's fine.
So then we have 5 violations. All right, my ruling will be that proper notice was provided. Ordered proper. There was adequate evidence of violation of C 3, 304.6, 304.13, 7, clearly dilapidated holes of foundation wall. Here's from the pictures that it is sinking. Windows, skylights, doors, and frames. The windows obviously broken, and some of them are open to elements. The exterior walls clearly falling apart. They are open. They're not. Sections are missing. And as to vacant structures and premises, it's open. It is unsecured. It's open to the public. It causes a safety issue, and it does appear blighted. Therefore, I will make a finding that 5 violations do exist, and that the property owner shall bring the property into compliance with all violations by April 8th by demolishing the structure or repairing the structure and obtaining all proper permits. Failure to comply with all 5 violations by April 8th, 2022 will result in a daily fine of $50 for each violation listed. I will impose costs in the amount of $5.05. Anything else? Thank you. That looks like that was our last case, Mr. Manager. Is that correct? Anything from you, sir?
No, ma'am, I have no report, and with that,
The attorney?
No report, thanks.
No report. Okay. Then we are adjourned. Thank you.